50 students wasted 5 hours on an exam. One student passed without calculating anything. My chemistry teacher was extremely strict. Dr. Starlin was a teacher, with a master's degree from another international university, and he seemed to hate every student who walked into his class. His exams were terrifying. Over 5 years, the highest score ever achieved was 24%. Many students even left the college just to avoid his class. The final exam was worth 50% of the total grade. The last question alone was worth 40 points. The question said, using advanced chemistry principles, calculate the exact reaction of a highly complex chemical system, then derive all possible outcomes of that reaction. The question filled 2 full pages, chemical symbols I had never seen before, and notations that looked completely unfamiliar. The students panicked. One student cried and ran out. Another girl started vomiting, rocking back and forth while quietly repeating formulas to herself. I sat frozen in my seat for 2 hours. I felt like my future in chemistry was over. A boy next to me kept pulling my hair, trying to tell me something. He was completely panicked. The room turned into chaos. People were writing, erasing, and rewriting. Some wrote in the margins of their books, others on their hands. The room felt like a war zone. Then something clicked. I remembered the very first thing Dr. Starlin had said. Chemistry is not about memorizing rules, it's about understanding what is actually possible. I reread the question carefully. The chemistry system described violated fundamental chemical reaction rules, contained incompatible compound combinations, had reaction conditions that contradicted each other. It wasn't just difficult. It was chemically impossible. Then I noticed a small line hidden in the question. Assuming standard laboratory conditions. That meant room temperature, normal pressure, standard lab conditions. But the system described required an unstable chemical environment, substances that need extremely low temperatures. At the same time, reactions requiring extremely high heat. Those conditions directly contradicted each other. The reaction could not follow the laws of chemistry. Any laboratory equipment would be destroyed instantly. So I wrote, this chemical system cannot exist under standard laboratory conditions. The reaction requirements are contradictory and violate fundamental laws of chemistry. Therefore, this reaction cannot occur. 1 hour later, I turned in my exam. The rest of the class was still calculating. 7 days later, Dr. Starlin walked into the classroom with a serious expression. 50 students spent 5 hours trying to solve a chemically impossible question, he said. Only 2 students understood that sometimes true knowledge is knowing when chemistry stops working. The class average was 10%. If you're a good-hearted person, subscribe to my YouTube.